Welcome back to episode 151 of the Block Runner Podcast. I'm your host, William, always here with your co-host, Iron.
What up, what up?
And on the sticks, we got TJ.
Hello.
All right, so we got Personal.ai to talk about today. They're doing something live in about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And of course, Bitcoin. Dude, your favorite cryptocurrency is going ham today, 7%.
Yeah, I guess all of a sudden, all the doom and gloom of
It's just washed away.
Yeah, because Bitcoin broke through a 30K mental barrier, I guess. So
Yeah.
everything is gravy now.
Yeah.
The world is not dissolving before our eyes. The dollar is not collapsing. Everything's great.
Yeah.
Because we have Bitcoin and it's up and hooray. Maybe Balaji was right. Right?
Yeah, he's got a long way to go. He's got
He does.
roughly 60 days left, give or take.
To get what?
To get to a million?
960,000
Yeah.
increase in valuation. Yeah, good luck, dude. But nonetheless, so yeah, everybody, this is the talk of the town. Why is Bitcoin going up so aggressively?
I don't know. I guess, do you qualify 7% as aggressive?
I don't, but I guess like the sentiment is, it just feels so.
The sentiment is aggressive.
Yeah, this is like, holy shit, people have been they just can't believe their eyes. It's like 30K Bitcoin. See, all you haters.
That's not, I mean, this is a pretty big rise, dude.
Yeah. I mean, this is just typical Bitcoin stuff, dude. We've been around long enough. We've been having the discussions for months about like all the macro conditions and factors that could potentially make Bitcoin much more valuable, or at least align more with its value proposition of being a new contender in like the world's asset class sector. So I think more and more people and countries and companies, investors in general, are potentially starting to buy into this concept. So naturally, you're going to see some bullish trajectory.
So what's interesting is that this bottom that we saw at $16,000, that was a March-April timeframe.
Yeah. And
guess what the last bottom was for the previous cycle? It was March-April timeframe.
Oh, same timeframe?
Yeah. Exactly 4 years ago, dude. Is this a coincidence or what?
Well, I mean, Bitcoin just has a rhythm, dude. A very predictable rhythm, but for whatever reason, in the moment, you just always want to counter the understandings that every Satoshi programmed a very, predictable economic outcome, I guess. Every 4 years, something happens, and it's going to drive the value of this thing up every single time, right?
Yeah, and what's interesting is we made it a full cycle, dude. We started the podcast down in the peak of the bear.
Yeah.
And we finally experienced the peak of the bear.
Very nice. How's it feel, dude? 4 years in the books.
Well, I'm trying to think back in the day as like, we're trying to predict the future. We're like 100K Bitcoin is in the bag.
Yeah, I guess that was definitely the talk. It's like we just experienced an ICO bubble and bust.
Yeah.
Probably the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life was the rise and fall of crypto. Celebrities pushing it. Everybody I know all of a sudden, wanting it. This is like, 6 months prior, everyone was calling it a scam. It's just like, wow.
Yeah.
That was one hell of a ride.
Yeah. When your family starts asking you about Bitcoin, that's when there's a euphoria happening.
Yeah, correct.
And then once they about a year later, they start calling you about, why did you get me into this scam? That's how it's full despair.
Yeah.
You hit the bottom.
Correct. So considering that we're basically in the same stage where we were when we first started the podcast, like what was our motivation to even like start back then, 4 years ago? Like, what were we trying to achieve as, observers, influencers, whatever the hell you want to call us?
I don't know. I feel like we were trying to just understand what was happening. And whether or not what was happening was actually a big deal or not.
Well, we knew like at some point the market was going to return, right? We just knew.
Yeah.
That there's going to be bubble cycles throughout the growth maturation of crypto and Web3.
Yeah.
And I guess we just really wanted to see like, what was going to be that next thing, That's what what keeps my attention every single time in these markets is what's next.
Yeah.
And the thing that seems like is next, but I don't feel anywhere near as comfortable or like enthusiastic about it is the AI stuff, the crypto.
Oh,
AI
I see.
stuff.
Yeah.
Seems like it. It's like when we first started the podcast, the obvious contender was DeFi. It's like this is the only thing that's new that didn't exist in the previous cycle.
It's true. Yeah.
You know, the AI thing. It's really the only thing that's relatively new.
And it's not exclusive to crypto.
I know. Yeah, totally not.
DeFi is exclusive to crypto.
Yeah, so that's why.
And there hasn't. I mean, really, there hasn't been that many things that are new in crypto, other than like layer 0 type technology. Layer 2 type technology like ZK.
Yeah.
But man, that's like super nerdy tech stuff rather than like AI is available to masses right now.
Yeah, super nerdy tech stuff isn't the way.
Yeah.
You got to have something that's degen compatible.
Yeah.
You know.
Did you ever see yourself saying that AI wasn't the super nerdy tech stuff?
That's true. I never thought, I guess eventually we would get our hands on, like the consumers would get their hands on AI products.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't foresee like chatting with AI so frequently, so regularly. I do it daily.
Yeah, and nobody saw that coming. That's why it's taking over.
Yeah.
It's just and spilling into crypto because now everybody wants to figure out how do we utilize this and put it on chain, right? So it's going to be an interesting sector again to pay attention to. It's going to be AI spring, I guess. We're already seeing so many different projects spin up, and they all, to be honest, they look pretty lots of red flags in my opinion.
Oh yeah, in crypto for sure.
Well, yeah, we're only talking about crypto right now because markets are up, so we got to start looking into the where's the opportunity.
Yeah, so before we get into the red flags, I think it's important to understand what is the application of AI in crypto? Like, what is like the most ideal? Because like in science, when the math predicted that there must be black holes, right? Like that's what the math tells us. So there has to be. So we got to look for indicators of black holes, and there you go. You look for what you project to be a black hole, and you go and look for it, and there it is, right? That's what math tells us.
Yeah.
So when it comes to like joining a technology like AI and cryptos, like what is like the most optimal outcome for these two technologies to merge?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it seems to be like leveraging the fact that the large language learning models that we have can be supplied by a decentralized community, right?
Yeah.
And then the reason why they would supply that is because they're incentivized to via a token.
Yeah.
So any project revolving around that seems like a legitimate use case.
Potentially, but also like a legitimate vessel to scam people. Just it's a convincing argument. It's like, hey, all we want is your data, or your contributions of thought or knowledge or whatever.
Yeah,
and we're gonna bring it into this pool. We can call it like the knowledge pool or something, kind of like a liquidity pool.
Yeah.
Instead of like liquidity for financial services, you're providing data into a pool for AI services, right? And you're gonna get compensated, I guess, in the same. But it's like you're not actually locking anything up, like you're in an LP pool.
Yeah,
liquidity provider. That's the difference. That's why you expect some kind of return for locking up your value.
Well, I guess the return would be the application of that AI being useful to you, right? Like, let's say, for example, if everybody was providing a knowledge base of trading, right? Mm-hmm. Everybody's supplying trading data, for example, like you mentioned earlier. It's perhaps that could be useful for AIs. Like, hey, the trend is this way because all these different indicators.
Yeah, but then how do you determine how much of a reward that person, that contributor, that the input, what is the quantifiable measure?
Well, I think I forget the phrase, but I think the sum is greater than the parts. And so the once you supply the data to the AI, I think the collective result of that is more valuable than the actual data itself. It's what difference does it make that you sold Bitcoin at $60,000? But it makes a difference when everybody is starting to sell Bitcoin at $60,000, right? Mm-hmm. Then that's a very good indicator.
So it's literally just a volume thing. If you're doing a high trade, you have a high trade portfolio or something, you're a day trader.
Yeah.
That's something of value that this AI would like to tap into, right?
Well, and the AI would tell you things that wouldn't be obvious to like the average person looking at charts.
Yeah.
It's like the AI would tell you is like, it seems like Bitcoin operates at a 4-year cycle. And so today is equivalent to 4 years ago, and it's a good time to buy. It's like these types of things are not necessarily obvious until you're looking at charts every day. Like,
Yeah.
we kind of do.
Yeah. Interesting. Well,
So I'm just trying to think of different applications of AI and crypto that we will see that is like a good project, rather than like just a website and the website says it's going to do everything for you and you're going to earn tokens by supplying stuff and
yeah.
marketplace this and all that stuff.
Yeah. I'm also trying to identify like how are they going to attract degen activity? That's really all I'm concerned about. 'Cause
Okay, yeah.
that's how it starts.
Yeah.
That's how any new like emerging crypto sector starts. There has to be something that appeals to, I don't know, like the reckless individuals who are.
So, all right, so let's put an analogy to it. So what you're looking for is the equivalent of the technology of NFTs being created.
Yeah.
It's like, what can you do with NFTs that's going to get the degens involved?
Yeah.
And therefore PFPs come, and that takes a hold of the zeitgeist, and all of a sudden everybody's doing a PFP.
Yeah.
And then as a result, you have a $60 billion volume in a few months.
Yeah. Something like that. Yeah. I don't think degens are going to be attracted to just like, come tell us what you know and you'll get a token.
Not. Definitely not.
It's got to be something a little more radical than that. I haven't seen or thought of an idea of how you could do that, but
yeah. It's like an NFT that talks to you, basically. That's like, I don't know, useful or novel.
Yeah. But nonetheless, these are the things we got to look out for because, man, this space is going to get flooded. I mean, now that Bitcoin's on the rise, so everybody's kind of bullish. I'm pretty sure a lot of sideline money is now like being activated. It's like, okay, these markets are about to heat up, so let's start deploying some capital somewhere, right? Because like I said, when we first started the podcast, that was the thing to do.
Yeah.
The markets were on the come up. As soon as Bitcoin went from what was it, hovering around 3 to 4K, it jumped up to like 11K.
Yeah.
In like a week or two.
Yeah.
That's when we knew it was like, okay, yeah, like it's over. Like that winter felt like hell.
Yeah.
It was like we finally came out of it. Only up from here mentality.
Yeah.
So yeah, we started the podcast, started looking into literally every project we could find. Just go down the list, open up Coin Market Cap. And just look at them all.
Yeah.
Just do a little bit of due diligence and talk about what we find, right? And that's how we found, like Matic. Super early because, we knew Binance was a big deal and they're doing IEOs.
Yeah.
We're like, what the hell is that? It's like their own little workaround for an ICO.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they were dropping games like Axie Infinity. That's a game? I didn't think games could be in crypto.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's play to earn. Oh, that makes sense. And then it's like, oh shit, there's this other thing called Decentralized. But all that just felt so new and like fresh at that moment. Like I don't know what is that new freshness of today. That's what we need to find.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, because I guess a new freshness, if anything, would be like ZK technology, but it isn't like
it doesn't
feel as tangible as like Decentralized or Axie or NFTs
or even Matic, because at the time Matic was fresh, like a technology infrastructure play was like one of the earliest entrants into the whole L2 space. So yeah, I guess in a sense, like Layer 0 could be,
it could be
potentially like something similar to that. Or all these projects that are in the AI sector, there might be a few of them within it that are like, legitimate, like diamonds in the rough.
Yeah.
And all the other sectors we talked about, metaverse infrastructure, maybe Boson Protocol.
Yeah.
Is like one of the bigger, sleeping giants in the space. Who knows?
Yeah. I also feel like the metaverse still applies because the metaverse, it had like its run, but it was so short. It was like 3 months.
Yeah, I wouldn't qualify that as a run.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. But I mean, it was like catalyzed by Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah,
and so that's why the run was so short because nobody was really prepared for it.
Actually, I guess it was technically a run, right? Because like Mana went up pretty intensely.
Yeah.
So did Sandbox, and
Yeah.
it wasn't a very big sector, but everyone who was positioned within it did have experience like a pretty
Yeah. Pretty nasty.
yeah.
Yeah. X.
So you're right. I would definitely call that like it's the metaverse's first actual run in these markets. But yeah, as you can see, it's tough to it's tough to repeat.
Yeah. As quickly as it went up, as quickly as it went down.
Yeah. And even DeFi is struggling to really kind of like resurge, but
Yeah, because so much regulatory pressure too.
that too.
Yeah,
Regulatory pressure, and then it's just not as appealing as it used to be, right? Because the degen shit is where it brought everybody in.
Yeah.
You got these crazy APYs, people just forking and spinning off new protocols like
food coins
daily.
and stuff.
Yeah. It was totally different vibe back then, and that's why you saw like an actual bubble form.
Yeah, I remember us looking at DeFi and like these food coins and stuff. We're like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Like, why? How are you getting 10,000% yields?
Yeah. It was wild, dude.
And of course, the degens love that stuff.
Yeah, they were just minting vapor tokens essentially, and just happy about it.
Yeah,
cashing them in and just hopping around from food coin to food coin. So, I don't know if that's exactly what we're looking for, like like little bubble moments in these markets, but because they come regardless. So, and I'm pretty sure this AI thing is going to snowball into
definitely
a bubble.
Yeah, definitely.
I think, but man, I don't know. Maybe I don't know if I'm cynical or if like
you're like burnt out on like
I'm like
trying to find the next wave.
Yeah, but it just feels like this sector in particular, like the AI thing, if this narrative is it feels like it's so easily co-opted by people who are just kind of like
taking advantage
of the community, the Web3 community. They know how the people behave and what they're looking for, and dude, this narrative is like so goddamn obvious and appealing, and it just I don't know. It's gonna be tough to find like genuine.
But you know what? There are projects out there like Fetch AI, who's been around since 2017.
Yeah.
And those have a little bit more credibility just because they were there before the hype. Anyone who spins up a website now about AI, that's sketch.
So you say that, but then whenever DeFi rolled around, there was like a less than a handful of like primitives, like like a Compound, a MakerDAO, and like pull together stuff like that. But dude, so much came after it.
Yeah. Pancake Swap,
Synthetics, freaking Yearn Finance, like so many different actual Curve.
Good
Balancer.
Point. That's a good point.
There was so much that came out of that DeFi summer. After the fact, like once it started to heat up, the developers quickly like started spinning up, new protocols. We can see the same thing happen here. It just feels like, man, it's gonna be ugly.
Yeah, and that's why I brought up earlier is like what can we foresee being generated by these developers that it has legitimate that is like Balancer that is like these
we do have to start thinking about that, and
because as soon as we see it and like we do our due diligence on the founders and all that, as soon as everything like there are no red flags or as many red flags, it's like that's a good opportunity.
So then I guess the best place to start is like identifying what is the actual core value to like decentralized AI, because there's an obvious core value to decentralized finance, right? You're basically replicating financial services that exist at banks or lending institutions, whatever.
Well, I think here's sort of like an easy narrative. Just like we have in the metaverse landscape, we have the metaverse, and then we have basically two types of industries in the metaverse, right? The centralized, and we got the decentralized.
Yeah.
Right. So AI products are going to be both centralized and decentralized.
Pretty much. That's all I don't think blockchain could it. Can you imagine like a richer AI product of some kind just because of the nature of
no,
of
I guess
like a distributed
maybe like an AI version of Etherscan that like analyzes the entire blockchain. You kind of ask it questions like, which ETH address holds the most ETH? It's like, give it to me.
Yeah.
What's the volume and ETH flow right now? It's like.
But you don't need crypto to like do that, right? Like you wouldn't need.
Well, I think you could use an AI for analytics.
Yeah, exactly. Just to provide you that same service.
Yeah.
Like outside of any blockchain or Web3.
Yeah.
Integration.
And I can see like an AI assistant, you can program it to be like, just notify me when the volume gets beyond, $50 billion for Bitcoin. Because that's an indicator of like there's attraction to buying Bitcoin or selling it, right? These things like the assistant could help you with these things.
Yeah.
And so there are legitimate use cases for combining AI and like at least crypto analytics, but the point of it is either you use centralized services to provide you that information or you use decentralized services. And like, what are the benefits of one over the other? One's going to be faster, reliable, and one is going to be like more secure because you're not giving out your personal information for whatever.
Yeah. That's really it. So I guess the thing to do would be to really analyze the existing AI space.
The products
on Web 2, big tech products.
Yeah.
And just start to see what's being replicated. Just like, DeFi, you just kind of replicated a lot of what already exists in finance.
And I think we've seen elements of this already with like text to image.
Yeah.
We got Midjourney, we got Stability, but then we have like these crypto projects that are generating images now.
Yeah. Yeah, basically clones.
Yeah, clones.
But not necessarily as distributed or like decentralized as you would expect them to be.
It's just a clone of the functionality of text to image and then attach a token to it.
Yeah, that's not good enough.
Yeah.
I don't think. That's not like true DAI,
Yeah,
like
correct.
DeFi, DAI.
It's like your Solidity smart contract needs to call some sort of AI function. And that does not exist.
And the data has to be on some sort of on-chain
or decentralized network like IPFS.
Yeah, something or Oasis protocol, something. Like, there has to be some sort of like a
deep integration to
deep utility from like
blockchain
the
and
privacy of blockchain and security and all that stuff.
Yeah,
just to again be that counterpart to the traditional AI narrative.
Yeah,
which people are scared of. People think it's gonna like destroy humanity and all this stuff.
Yeah,
somehow this like decentralized counterpart, and I know there's a scene in Silicon Valley or something like that where this doesn't turn out as rosy as you would expect, but somehow they got to paint this narrative that you want AI to be decentralized, just like you want money and finance to be decentralized.
Yeah, it's interesting you bring up Silicon Valley because I think the idea behind like the story of Silicon Valley, at least for a season, was that they built a decentralized internet, and then decentralized internet means that you can't shut it down, right? Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But then you add AI to it, and then you connect AI to that decentralized internet, and all of a sudden you can't turn off the AI, and then you could create a pretty funny story off of that.
Yeah.
So, but we don't have a decentralized internet. It is completely centralized. It can be shut down.
Yeah. Maybe like the bigger fear though is like it's okay to like let AI not be disturbed. Or like interfered with, or again,
slowed down.
Yeah, it's just really the big fear is like having, humans in control of it.
Well, yeah, used for nefarious purposes. Like you could use deep fakes, and it's convincing. It's more convincing these days. And so, imagine a deep fake that Putin is like, "All right, we're going to war" or something.
Yeah.
And like it spooks a bunch of people. The markets tank, and all of a sudden you have banks collapsing because of a video, of a spoofed video. So I think that's the fear that Elon Musk has with AI.
Yeah. So there's there's a lot of work in this AI space to like generate some true value, I think. Like I'm thinking about it now. It's like
when you say true value, what do you mean exactly?
Yeah, like I'm envisioning like a whole network of just all these. So it's gonna start out like a fragmented AI, I guess, tools.
Yes.
That are being created because that's what's happening now. But the thing that Web3 I guess can do that maybe like the Web2 AI space can't is like bring all these separate tools kind of together, and they're all representative and collective communities that are upholding the technologies of that these individual tools are, right? But you can combine them all together to essentially have like an AI run just organization or DAO that is doing something like a business or something, operating it's a media company that's all AI,
Mm.
and because you have this, and that different protocol all working together, because of all the data we've provided as a community, collective community, now we're gonna whatever revenue that generates. So here comes the SEC.
Yeah.
But what are you gonna lock up robots? I don't think so.
Yeah.
But all the people who contributed their data set, their knowledge, they're like LPs, they're like liquidity providers. So they expect, a fee in return whenever all the AI companies are making some
Sure.
revenue.
Sure.
They're contributing real value to the planet, right?
Yeah.
Media company, maybe like an education platform. I don't know.
I mean, you mentioned DAO too. I mean, I feel like there's an application of an independent thinker, like an AI would, to contribute to a DAO decision-making process.
Yeah, like that could be one organization, like a true value AI DAO.
Like an impartial party.
Yeah, so like the contributors to that, they would have to prove and get trust from like basically the rest of the world. Like, let's look, here's our proof of data.
Yeah.
Like we have like the most non-biased collection of information, whatever the fuck
Yeah.
that our AI has ever generated, and it's transparent, it's on the chain, it's on blockchain, all this stuff. So you guys should utilize this in all your DAOs and pay us, every time.
Yeah.
And then we're generating revenue. It's getting distributed to the people who built this thing, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's how I can envision like an actual mature AI economy,
Yeah.
with like human participants involved in that. But we're not actually doing any of the labor or the work.
Yeah.
We're just,
I'm interested in how we get to a point where we trust the decisions of the AI.
Yeah.
Like what would lead us to end up trusting AI to where it can contribute making decisions?
Has to be like some sort of like obvious improvement in something like
Yeah.
It's like here's one DAO that has been using AI, and here's all the others, and like, dude,
just
this one's
human.
just smoking
Yeah.
everyone else,
Agreed.
and for whatever reason, like hasn't made a financial mishap
Yeah.
ever, type of a difference,
Yeah.
or like I mean, it's gonna be very complex, but I feel like it's gonna get to that point no matter what, right? That's
Man.
the trajectory.
What a difference 4 years makes. We're talking about just ICOs. We're cooling off from the ICO mania.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we see IEOs and IDOs and DeFi. And now we're talking about like sentient probabilities here. 4 years later.
Yeah, AI, like deep AI, deep DAO shit.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you're gonna see like AI or DAO like trading firms. You know what I mean? Like, because that seems like one of the more intuitive AIs to work on is like because everybody can just provide trading information and market data and stuff like that.
Yeah, because you're just basically just using an app to trade, and it's just recording all that information.
Exactly. So I could see like a whole DAO. This probably actually exists already, like trading DAOs.
Yeah, I think Robinhood is probably the biggest example here because there's no fees on Robinhood. I don't know if you've used the app before.
It's been a while.
Yeah, so there's no fees. So Robinhood needs to make money somehow. So what they do is they leverage the trading data of everybody, and they sell that information to huge institutions. And
there you go.
That trade against you.
I actually did not know that, dude. That's fucking weird.
Yeah.
I wonder what they do with all that data. Like these
well-
institutions, they had like.
Well, they probably just trade against it. It's like, hey, everybody's like buying this one asset, so I'm gonna. It has to dump, so I'm gonna buy options, futures contracts, expecting it to dump.
That seems pretty weird.
Seems shady, right?
Yeah, it does.
But that's what they do.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think there's any. I mean, yeah, there's kind of like some harm in that. They get like an edge against like retail.
The retail, yeah.
Yeah, but I guess retail gets to trade for free, so I don't know. But that is an interesting trade-off.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is what I mean by the AI sector needs a lot of work, like a lot of proving to do. That something of true value can be like spun up from this.
But there's an other side to this. So we're like fundamental analysis, like we analyze like fundamentally these different projects, right?
Yeah.
So, but there's the other side of it, of like the degen side. Like we know some of these projects are probably not legitimate, but we also know that it's probably going to explode regardless.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the right move would be to acquire some of these assets and then just time the market. But it really depends on like what kind of trader you are, and
Yeah.
if you have the resources to take these kinds of risks.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah, there's that.
And really, that's like where a ton of money is made.
And taking those risks.
Yeah,
Of course, yeah.
yeah, I guess. I mean, the other side is fundamental analysis and just like making good bets and just waiting on them. Like
Yeah.
Bitcoin would be a good bet. Like right now, I mean, according to these charts.
Yeah. Yeah, there's going to be, okay, so the crypto AI, that's one that's pretty obvious. Of course, the whole layer 2 thing, I think a lot of layer 1s are kind of like slowly starting to get like slurped up.
Yeah.
You know, maybe the whole layer 1 concept is finally going to slowly diminish. I don't know. That's one of the things that we're going to have to pay attention to. But probably not. I'm pretty sure once the bull market comes back, like in full swing, like the actual euphoric part of a bull market, all the layer 1s are going to basically do what they did last time, right? A lot of new projects are going to emerge from Ethereum's layer 1 and layer 2 ecosystem, and even layer 3. And they're just going to replicate that stuff on all these competing chains. And there's just going to be so much liquidity present from all over the planet. It's just, they're all going to benefit.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like the other analogy is like, you know, how do we onboard billions into crypto? And we can't foresee billions people using crypto when we have to like teach everybody about networks and like using MetaMask to swap different networks and like swapping tokens. Like, we know that the future is going to be a lot more user friendly. And so we know to look for projects that head towards that future, because that's the only way you're going to onboard billions of people.
You think so? Yeah, because like the last cycle, like the ugliest and most dirtiest of looking platforms were the ones that did the best. Remember?
Oh yeah,
well,
just like the UI looking like ugly UI stuff. Yeah,
just absolute garbage. But there's a reason for that, right? Like people are just quickly spinning up new protocols, new projects, releasing their MVPs. That's what you expect in those types of environments.
I mean, to be fair, it seemed like it was a choice of design, not just like half-ass building websites.
Some of them, yeah.
Yeah.
And definitely, yeah.
Yeah, well, it was definitely weird. Like going to these websites, everybody's like going crazy about like mining 10,000 percentage APYs, and you go to the website, it looks like it was made in like GeoCities.
Yeah. Exactly.
Just want to let you guys know Personal.ai stream just started.
It just started. All right, we're gonna have it in the background, and let me turn it down.
Oh, I see like a little. What do you call that? Little opening scene.
You got a link, TJ?
Yeah, I'll put it in there.
All right, so shout out Personal.ai. So we had an interview with the founder and CEO.
Oh yeah, dude, Trey Waters is there.
Oh, dude, our boy Trey.
Yeah, so found a table. Let's see, and oh, dude, there's Suman.
Yeah, there you go, dude.
That's cool.
So yeah, we informed him of this event because it's in his native city.
Yeah,
and we're like, hey man, go over there and scope out the venue. Let us know if they have killer robots on the loose or not. Nobody knows what the hell they're actually. But apparently, this is like their flagship release. This is what they've been waiting for, like this right here, AI Model 1. All right, let's actually listen to this, dude.
Yeah, let's see what's happening.
I saw like a nice clean screen. Look at that. There he is.
Okay.
A little laggy.
Solid 2 frames per second.
Yeah.
Well, let's see if we can drop the quality.
Join us online, and sorry for the delay. And thank you for everybody who joined us in person today. Today, I think it's very important. It's important not just for me, not just for my team, but I think it's important for every person in the world. I am Suman Kanuganti. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Personal.ai. Today joining me is my co-founders Sharon Zong and Christy Kaiser, and a number of team members. Our company is Human AI Labs. And over the past 3 years, we've been on a mission to reimagine how we communicate with each other.
I mean, outside of the stream quality, this looks legit.
It does.
Yeah, this is a real
we experience
company.
Yeah, like
uh,
Keynote.
in our world,
There you
in our
go.
lives.
Yeah, this is what I expect from Silicon Valley.
You know,
Yeah.
when we focus on solving a hard human problem, we not only solve it, but we create positive impacts to our lives. And I've experienced it firsthand. I experienced it firsthand at my previous company, Ira, where we fundamentally reimagined how blind people access and physically negotiate with the physical environment. Ira was about our vision. Personal AI is about our memory.
What do you say, memory?
Memory.
We all forget, don't we? And we wish we remembered more. And there is only set amounts of time. The amount of time in a day is fixed. And don't we wish that we had more time every single day? Who doesn't wish? Every one of us wishes there is more time in every single day. And because of this, the number of connections in our life is limited to just 5.
5.
And we cannot establish like deeper connections with each other.
Ah, I see.
And we always wish our connections were deeper, stronger, and we could,
Connections.
build
I think
deeper
it means
bonds.
like
Human connections.
But what if these are not
Yes.
just wishes?
That's interesting.
human to
What
human
if there is
connection,
a personal
dude.
AI of you?
Only 5?
I think so.
can
Like
actually
on average, you
simply
can only have
scale
like
your
5
memory,
real
your
close
time, and
relationships
your
at any
connections.
time. Everyone else is kind of like just there.
That's
Yeah.
what
You know what I
personal
mean?
AI is all about. It's about continuous
You
connection.
just don't have the
with
mental
ease,
bandwidth to support more than that, dude.
Not only today, but
No.
forever into the future.
It requires so much time
Let's break it
to
down.
like
To, like,
maintain.
Relationships and
Yeah.
You know,
knowledge of
for-
other
since-
people.
since,
Yeah, that is a
2020
lot.
Since 2020, we've been
And then their problems become your
researching,
problems,
we've
and
been
And then they get mad at you if you
developing, we've
forget,
been
like, oh, I told
experimenting.
you, like, this happened. He's
I
like,
mean,
dude, well, my
we've been
memory,
through a
dude.
pandemic.
You know?
I'm only allocated 5 connections.
Exactly, dude. Don't get fucking mad, dude. Shit.
Oh my God, it never
That's
stops.
that's
I-
our nature, dude.
Thanks to every single person who supported us. Our early beta customers, our investors, our partners, our friends and family, you, all of you, thank you. Thanks a lot. Because today we have multiple breakthroughs to present. We have multiple breakthroughs that actually make the true vision of what personal AI really is or what it meant to be. So I'm going to break it down into 3 breakthroughs that we've been working on. Kind of goes forward 3 years, 3 breakthroughs. Number 1, we built something called a memory stack. A memory stack. A memory stack is a digital vault or digital memory of you. This one evolves with you. And it's created automatically with everyday communications and everyday conversations.
That's
It's
what we need
almost
to
like
build
a
for
digital
ourselves.
memory of your life.
Interesting.
We
Like a
also
compiler,
developed something, I think,
A collector of info.
collector of all your
is
bullshit.
insanely-
Yeah.
I think it is awesome. We developed something called a personal language model.
There you go.
A personal language model, guys. This model trains entirely on your memory stack. This model mimics the way you express yourself. This model is grounded in your facts, in your opinions. And it evolves to your style, to who you are over a period of time. And that is the personal language model. Now, we talked about connections, we talked about
There's one more, dude.
everyday relationships. Like
This
do
memory
we
stack,
bring
personal
all this
language
together?
model. and-
Promise
How do we
3.
communicate with
Yeah.
each other?
And here's our physical robot.
We
Yeah.
have combined these 2 products, the memory stack, as well as this personal AI model, in something that is super simple that we use every single day. Every one of us uses it. We probably used it in the last few minutes. You probably are using it right now. Who knows?
What, your
Cell
phone?
phone?
Yeah, it's a mobile app.
We combined that into something called a messaging application. Well, a messaging application, we all know how to use it, but this messaging application will reimagine how we communicate, how we stay connected, how we exchange our ideas, how this AI integrates into every one of our lives. That together, my dear friends, is called Personal AI Model 1. And today, we are announcing this Personal AI Model 1 will be available for every one of us.
Nice.
Every one of us.
So you gotta describe what is this
The
chat
Personal AI Model
app?
1 will scale your memory. The Personal AI model will scale your time. It will also help you scale your connections. This Personal AI model of us will
Interesting.
reinvent
Whoa, dude.
how AI is actually perceived,
So you're gonna be able
how
to
it
like,
is used,
like
how
you're
it
saying,
can be
maintain
beneficial
relationships a lot
to
better
our
now.
society,
with
the way
this.
it is
Yeah,
supposed
it's
to
like,
be used for every consumer.
A simple
on the
one's like,
planet.
when's Iman's birthday? Or
Or like, you know,
Let's
it's
dig
like,
deeper.
what?
like, you know,
Every
you're not able
consumer
to ask all
planet.
your friends, hey man, how you
we
doing,
already
dude?
have all these
You know,
messaging apps, right?
you're still
Or
doing
even
You
better, it
probably
would
are
just say
communicating
like,
with these
should we
messaging
send
apps
Iman a
every
happy
single
birthday
day.
text?
So what's wrong with messaging apps?
You're like, yes, please.
Yes.
Well, the communication is fragmented, guys. The communication is fragmented. The messaging is manual. I have to type on every single message, every single moment. There are different topics, different people, different contexts,
Oh,
different
it's
apps,
gonna answer for us, dude.
yeah,
different
like it.
venues.
yeah. That's what I mean.
I
Your
have people in
personal
my
AI is
life,
gonna
my
have
family,
full-blown
my
combos
teams,
with like
my colleagues, my
all
communities, my
that,
clients,
all those
my
family members you
customers.
don't want to talk to, dude. Just set your personal AI.
It is
What's the
fragmented.
value of that,
It's
though?
broken.
What do you mean?
Of talking to family
And
members that I
every
don't talk
conversation
to.
requires different context.
So
cognitively
they,
burdening.
you know,
It's
they
stressful.
just.
You get that birthday card with the $10 in it, Will.
It is stressful, not
I
anymore.
don't know, dude. It seems like the
anymore.
thing to
So
do, you know.
we
Just keep
are super
keep
proud.
Yeah,
everyone
I-
like,
okay, I can
having
see
a
it.
good
Delighted
image
to
of you.
introduce
Yeah.
Networking.
Personal AI Copilot.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
It
like
will
just okay.
not be stressful.
yeah. Whenever you go to the family gatherings, everyone's not like, dude,
When
fuck
you are
this guy.
messaging with
It's
your
like he
personal
hasn't talked to me
Copilot,
all year.
Yeah.
You
your
know.
personal AI will draft
One of the comments in the chat
responses,
says,
messages on your behalf,
relationships
your
with people are
voice.
such burdens. This makes so much sense.
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wow,
We
we're
want to
gonna
see
outsource relationship
Now, of course, you will have
management to
control over
AI,
it.
dude. That's fucking
Of
weird.
course, you can edit it. Of course, you can review it and send it when you are ready. Now, it's also important. I mean, we are all, some of us are tech people, but the goal is everyday consumer AI, right? So, this Copilot is not like any other Copilots that you may have seen. This is your personal AI Copilot. And it can answer questions like you, with you.
All right. So for those of you listening, we're
And
looking
it
at
can
a
understand
message.
the context in your life.
You want to meet up on Saturday for
Understand, you
coffee,
can choose it and you can send it.
and then I love to
So-
meet up for coffee.
I guess
Wait, so it's just throwing you
what makes
options
this
like
Yeah, it's
personal AI
asking
model
you.
so personal.
It's
That's
generating
the
a
beauty-
response
that's the
for
beauty
you
of
and you
technology.
can choose it or not.
Over
It's
the last 6
still
months, I
work
think we are all
though. I still have to
familiar
like
with
read her
something
message to understand the
happening within the
context of this
space, right?
AI
A bunch of
generated
They
different
should
response.
know that
apps coming
I
up.
don't like coffee and I don't want to meet up. So the answer is no.
So
Yours
if you have to
probably
dig
would,
down
Will.
why
It's
like
is
you're still a
AI
dick.
different? Why is it
It's like even with AI,
start off
it's
with
like
something
that would be true AI.
Yeah.
Like it would just be
large
you.
language
You know.
models.
It's like
It's
no.
like, it's like no, dude.
The large language models,
Fuck
their
off, mate.
mission generally is to outperform human intelligence. Now, there are definitely use cases for it. And I believe that's the path to artificial general intelligence. Now, these are great capabilities. There are uses for it. But of course, we are all here for a reason. We are all here because we care too much about artificial personal intelligence. We want things to be personal. We want things to be ours. Now, large language models require large amounts of data. And in most cases, guys, it's your data. So congratulations. It's not. It's hard to train. It takes a lot of money. And it solves good productive use cases. It's great. There are uses for it. But it's not accessible to everyday consumer. And it is not personal. It does not understand us. And more importantly, it is also still in the control of big tech. Now, there are some fine-tuned models. You can customize the models. You can fine-tune it. Some startups are doing it, which is great. But it is still not personal. So what is the point? Well, our approach, on the contrary to anything that exists today, is all the way onto the far right-hand side. We want to be ultra-personal. We want to be ultra-personal. And we want to create a model that is so small that actually works with one individual on one individual's data and understand the person so well. And that, my dear friends, is personal language model. And that personal language model is 120 million parameters, in contrast with 170 billion parameters of a large language model. Wow. And that's how we are able to make it ultra personal. So to summarize, the personal AI model one, you have this
So this is like a different
multimodal memory.
A different
value
type of,
for AI.
Yeah.
Like, the large language models, they're valuable because they're actually super intelligent. Like
because they know everything. It's
Yeah.
large language models.
These personal ones, they're just going to be more stupid people.
Yeah,
Representations.
They won't be geniuses, but they would be you.
Yeah, which
because
me,
it's all you.
Me compared to a large language model, I'm pretty fucking dumb, dude. In comparison,
Yeah, whenever I asked Suman about if I'm bad at math, will my AI be mad at math? He said, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You're just kind of like you're cloning your own, your being. Is that valuable? I guess there is some value to that for sure.
It's like, wouldn't you want to ask Kanye AI some questions just to see how he would answer?
It depends. It would only be like personal shit. I wouldn't ask Kanye AI. Is like, dude, I want you to take a look at this beat I'm composing for this new song. But I would rather ask the large language model because it already has Kanye as part of its like understanding. So it's gonna have Kanye and like all the other legendary musicians combined.
And there is one more thing,
it's
guys.
gonna
This
give
is
you,
probably the most
you know what I mean?
important thing.
That's true.
Yeah. So it's like, what? Kanye's great and all.
It would be like
But he's not greater than all the musicians of all time put together.
On different apps. You're probably sending messages to your colleagues, your teams, your communities, your friends, and to your families. But guess what? You do not own any single thing. You do not. Those messages, guys, that you are sending to your friends or to everybody is not working in your favor. You send a text message and you are immediately bombarded with the ads in your email or somewhere else. Immediately.
You know how I can see buying this company?
You don't have any control.
Who's the company that supplies these devices, these personal devices?
You want to flip that narrative.
NVIDIA?
You own every
Apple.
single thing.
There you
all
go.
Of it.
Apple.
Imagine this being
Every single
Siri
thing, you
for
own
you.
it. Your stack.
Yeah.
And we've been partnering
This
with
does look
Oasis
like
Labs
a-
for the past 3 years.
Yeah, I could
To
definitely see
give
Apple
people the
scooping this
control
up,
and the
dude.
choice that they
Yeah.
wish
It's
to
Like,
on
yeah,
blockchain
we did
technology.
this.
Look, I wouldn't be standing here talking in front of all of you if the true intent of personal AI, it's indeed has to be yours. It is not a personal assistant. It is a personal AI asset. It's an asset of your life. So, look, 40 years ago on this very day, Mr. Steve Jobs, he said,
There you go.
What do you
"Never
know?
trust
Already.
a computer that you cannot lift." He literally put a handle on the computer so that you can lift it. Because why? It is a personal computer. So you can lift it and you can take to places. And that was the beginning of personal computing era. And we all have computers in our pockets now. That was the beginning of personal computing era. And 40 years later, today, never trust an AI that you cannot steer, guys.
Wow. That's his big Steve Jobs moment, dude.
Yeah.
So never trust an AI you can't steer.
I mean, look,
What does that mean?
I'm old enough, we've been through the personal computing era. This is the beginning of personal intelligence era. It truly is. And you need to have all these characteristics to make it really unique and really personal to you. And when you are putting AI in your hands, the one thing that I would ask is it's about to trust yourself. It's about to trust yourself and how you shape your own AIs and how the history unfolds in the future is different. Now, we're talking a lot about everybody having their own personal AI. How do we make it accessible for everybody? Yes, sure, simple messaging interface will make it accessible, but what else? Well, we will make it accessible by making the experience and the beginning of personal AI for free. It's going to be free.
He said at the beginning, though.
The human-to-human messaging is going to be free.
Nice.
Your personal AI model training and creation is going to be free.
Nice.
And yes, your AI co-pilots will also going to be free, and it will be limited for around 200 messages per month. And of course, for greater AI use, yes, you would subscribe. You would subscribe to the plans, and exactly a week from now, they will be live, and you can subscribe to it. Isn't it amazing? I mean, I'm standing in here telling you take control of your lives. This will be like your AI. Because I know for a reason, if we had to truly make an impact to everyday consumers, everyday people, we got to put this in the hands of people. Because I believe the future of AI is personal. The future of AI has to be personal.
Whoa.
So who wants to see personal AI in action?
Hey, let's
I
go.
do.
Let's go, dude. I like his like.
For the demo part,
It's like right before he said that.
I would ask Sharon Zhang, my co-founder, and Christy Kaiser to come onto the stage.
By the way, we interviewed Suman
Yeah,
in a
yeah, come.
podcast.
Yeah.
It's look for it in our YouTube channel. It's a great
Someone has a cool
conversation. We go
animation
deep.
behind.
Oh yeah. No, this guy's definitely the real deal. Like he's truly passionate about this stuff, as you can see.
Sharon,
Yeah, I was super excited for
Guys, please
this
welcome Sharon.
whenever we interviewed him, and it didn't disappoint.
Yeah.
she's our CTO, and she is the minds behind actually creating the personal language model. So kudos to her. And then let's also please welcome Christy Kaiser. The way I talk about Christy is she brings life to code. Code is such a technical thing. Like we got to bring consumer experiences out there. Okay, so to understand the demo itself, which is the second half of the presentation, let's begin with something basic, like something we are kind of familiar with. The messaging application. And in a messaging application, we probably are all familiar with, texting a message to ourselves, like sending a message to ourselves. We probably do in multiple different apps. Why do we do that? Well, it's also a mechanism
that.
to save a memory so that way we can go refer back and recall back easily. Because of course we are sending a message to ourselves, we trust it. And this is no different. You would simply send messages to your AI to be remembered forever.
I like it because
a
I already
messaging
do that with
application
Slack
is lonely
because I can just
without
send myself a
people.
message and then I can
So of
review
course you
it
can
later
invite your
whenever I
friends,
need
your
to
families, create your groups,
Like remind
create
yourself of
communities,
something?
remind myself,
create your
like
work
read this
groups,
article or whatever.
create your
Yeah.
client groups, customer groups, study groups, you name it. You can create all the groups, all for free. But one beautiful thing that is happening, whenever you are sending these messages to yourself, to your people, in your groups, your memory stack is growing. Your personal model is training. And those, well, come to surface beautifully in this messaging application. And
So this would be an additional messaging app, like on top of like
that's the beauty of
iMessage
doing
or
a live
or
demo.
WhatsApp or whatever.
I was talking to my slides.
This is
But
why
I
I
guess you
think
get the point.
it's
I
important
think
that Apple purchases it because it
a
could be
message
embedded
can
into
be,
your
a text,
personal
a link,
device.
a document.
It
could
knows
be anything.
everything that you're doing, and so you
now
don't
we
need
are
to
switching
supply it
Sharon's
directly.
Computer. Here. I don't know when it switched, by the way.
It's basically like
It's pretty scary though.
That is scary.
It's just like peering into like all your conversations,
What are you
basically,
doing?
right?
So are we
Basically.
gonna start
Like
with
even
human
amongst
human
your group,
messaging?
but that's how it's gonna know you.
But
Like-
but it's hyper local to the
super far
device. You
away.
can't like steal that
Give me a break.
information or
Okay.
learn about iMan just by hacking into his
Human to human
phone.
messaging.
It's just
Let's see.
internal.
Right, here
It's
they
like
go.
part of the
Let's
hardware.
just say a message. Super simple.
Okay.
Hi,
It's
how
the
was
most
your
personal thing
weekend?
that she could ask.
Oh, girl, let me tell you.
You remember
was-
Chaz?
My corgi, Mafan, turned 12 years old yesterday and spontaneously combusted.
All right. I mean, this is a personal AI demo, so what's exactly is happening? It sounds pretty simple, pretty straightforward.
How do I control what my AI remembers?
So what just happened right now? What just happened is when Sharon typed in about her dog, that is already a memory. Okay.
Hmm.
Here's the thing, guys. We already talked about a personal language model. It starts with like one memory.
So
and
it's
it sees
like,
that memory. But unlike in our lives, sometimes we cannot.
Now the AI
forget
knows. It's like,
because
I have a
AI,
dog.
you can
And
actually
it's 12
forget
years
And
old.
it turned 12 yesterday.
Yesterday. Now they can contextualize
Will
like its
simply
birthday for the rest of
unstack it,
forever.
you'll forget from your
Yeah,
memories.
that makes
So the
sense.
action of unstacking is about forgetting. Okay, it will forget forever. No, not archive. This will forget forever. And if you stack it, it will remember forever.
Yeah, I definitely
Okay.
want my AI to remember my dog.
Okay, what next? What do we
She
do
says
next?
she wants it or
Christy?
doesn't
She
want it.
does.
I
She
think you
does.
should try out Copilot.
Yeah, can you when
Hang
when
on,
would you
hang
ever
on.
want to like
AI
decouple?
Copilot, does it work already? It's only
When
one
you're
memory.
lying.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, great,
It's like,
great.
don't
idea.
remember this
It's like,
lie.
sorry, I
Let's
can't
try it
come to
out.
your kid's birthday party. I've got something going on tomorrow.
Christy?
Yeah.
What should we ask to actually see if it learned?
I'm gonna ask what breed of dog Muffin is.
Hold on a second.
Did she just?
It's in the Copilot. This will be the
Breed?
first
Did she
Copilot
say it's
message
corgi?
that- well,
Yeah, she's
let's
asking the
see.
AI what it is.
Oh.
She's trying to recall it back.
I see.
Okay. Sometimes you have to refresh your app. Just part of the live demo. Oh. Did it send?
Uh
Oh, there we go.
oh. You gotta hate
Like
these
my
moments,
AI
dude.
knows
Like in
better.
these
Yeah.
types of there it is.
What breed is Muffin? And Muffin is a corgi, says the
Yeah, look,
AI.
of course, this is all staged, but there is a point for it. The point in here is, look, that's such a simple memory. And by the way, my
I mean, this is definitely useful.
It
It's
is.
the only memory that exists
So,
in this
I would have to
perfectly
chat with
new
you,
clean
Iman, on this
memory stack
app
of
in order
facts.
to like
There's nothing
record
else.
specific data
But
points.
it's already effective.
Right.
And
I think
it's
so,
not
yeah.
search.
Huh.
If it is search, then you'll probably get the message back from Sharon. And it knows how to
But, okay,
respond
so-
to that question, which is like, what breed is Muffin? Such a simple thing. But
What triggered the
the
actual AI to
knows
respond
Muffin
and
is
not
a corgi. And because you already said it, doesn't
Sharon
have to say it
herself?
again.
Did
And
you
that's
like
one
prompt
context, guys.
like
And
AI
that
Sharon's like I
intent,
wanted
that
to
Yeah,
context
they didn't show it on
that,
screen, but I
like,
think that
context can be surfaced
you
in
can
many
ask the
different
AI
ways.
separately.
So
Okay.
do you want to hit send or what's going on?
Yep. It's very accurate.
Interesting.
So that's how you scale your time. Because
Scale
if you
your
say it
time.
once, you never have to say it again. You don't. Because it's
Mm,
already your memory.
interesting.
Your AI will do the work for you because it is augmenting your life and your memory.
Yeah, it's definitely useful. That's
That's
useful for people who like have
Awesome.
We talk
Like,
about personal
legit
score.
memory loss issues.
Let's talk
I
about
think
personal
that I
score.
think I misspoke on that though. It looks like
Well,
Christy
For
asked
asking the
what the
question
breed
back.
was, and that was just the response
so
the
personal score is
AI
a major
generated for you.
indication of
Oh.
how personal
Yeah.
your AI knows about you. So as you teach your AI more things, your personal score will naturally go up. So since I have a clean memory stack, a lot of the AI responses right now will be not that personal, so the personal score will be low.
So how can we test this? Christy, what do you want to do to test this?
I can ask her something that is not in the brand new memory stack. So let me ask when in her life she desired a personal AI.
This reminds me
Do
of
we have to
when we
refresh
were
again?
testing Rovi personalities
Mm-hmm.
on our last community call.
All
Okay.
right.
So here, this is an important thing, right? What just happened is Christy asked a question that AI do not know the answer for it yet. However, it has provided a draft. But how do we know it is not personal? We know it by personal scores. It's pretty low, which is 40%. But also, when she hovered over, there are three things: relevancy, fluency, and you're missing one thing: accuracy. This thing is not accurate to Sharon. So this is not personal. So what do you want to do, Sharon, in this case?
I actually want to tell my AI story about how it really started. And it really starts with me and my dad really talking about the concept of personal AI, because usually I'm too busy to call them often. So that's the memory I want my AI to remember.
Okay, so she edited the message. She can provide any information that she would want to respond to Christy. Now, this is all happening for a reason because we are communicating with each other, right? And that is also learned, I presume. Yeah, it goes into your personal language model. And let's test this again. What would happen if you ask the same question, Christy?
Let me ask the same question.
So basically, when someone asks you a question, something that you don't remember is like, "Hey, when did this thing happen? What was the date?" And your AI,
So
because it
guys,
remembers everything, will
look at
remember
this.
that date
Now
and it will
has just
suggest
become
that
personal.
answer, and then you
Something
can send
is
that
not
answer.
personal has become personal, which is like your life. And it explains, it talks about her memory with her dad exactly like the way she explained, but it kind of rephrases, paraphrases to answer that question particularly. Isn't it beautiful?
Isn't it beautiful?
Yes.
Yeah, dude. This is definitely gonna like add a whole new
So cool. And
like
of course,
layer
these are
of
simple messages,
life.
but the whole idea, the point
You
is to
know?
get the simplicity
It's like layer of
across.
accuracy and
We
like
can go into complex details and go some advanced
ease,
prompts,
I think.
but let's
Ease?
see.
Yeah, because you don't have to
Now that we
remember a
talked
bunch of
about
stuff.
Yeah,
personal
that's true.
scores, what do we talk
It
about? What do we
remembers,
want
like your
next?
phone remembers
I think
everything,
we
your
should
birthday,
show
like
them
Yeah.
autopilot.
dates.
Yeah.
I don't know if my AI is ready for autopilot yet.
Okay. You guys want me to
Autopilot.
put my
Copilot.
on. I know
Oh.
that. But how about like how can I find my data? Like where is my data?
You go to my data.
Okay, so everything is in your control. You can see everything that is going on. It's not a message that's sent to the servers and then you don't see anything. Everything is in your control. You can shape it however you want. So all your documents, all your uploads, all your memory stack, the exact
I want to see
thing
what that actually
that
looks
is
like.
happening on your
Like,
stack is in your
what does like
control,
a
that's in my data.
shit ton of data
And what
like
is my
actually
AI?
look
Is there
like on
anything
screen?
point in my AI?
Is it just like
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
fucking
so
dump?
I have a few AIs.
That's a great
under
question.
my
Are they
AI.
like little
So what's
folders?
important to me is my family,
Like, you
my
know,
This is
work,
what happened in
of course, my dog,
2019
my
and
family.
Yeah.
2020.
So I divide
Yeah.
my AI up into those specific knowledge corpus. Then I can actually share individual AIs with different people if I would like.
And what is the goal in here? Why do we want to do that?
It's really to separate like parts of your life. And my AI has a life on its own, obviously. So I can share my work things with work people like Christy and Suman. And if I want to talk more about my family, then I can share that with my parents.
So technically, you can compartmentalize your personal language model based on how your life exists and how you want it to be. I call this dimensions of your life. Of course, I have my personal life, I have my family life, I have my work life, I have my previous company life, which is about the community. Everybody requires different context, remember? So you can maintain what your life is in your personal AI profile without having to create multiple different accounts, because it's truly like one personal language model for one individual.
Right an hour.
So, sure, I think Christy wants to get to autopilot. What is the autopilot? We never talked.
Man.
I didn't talk about
Autopilot.
What is an autopilot?
How
Copilot.
how deep are we into
I,
this?
I swear he's saying
My
autopilot, but
AI
yeah.
will operate on
It's
its
probably been
own,
about
and I have
30
many
minutes,
invites from
like
people.
legit.
Thank you for
Yeah, I'm not
sending
sure how long they're supposed to go, but they
Um,
started late.
So,
It's
but
45
did you
minutes.
Remember to put your
Okay,
AI
so-
on
Yeah, let's
autopilot
call it here.
before the presentation.
I think we should just switch to it and kind of see.
Yeah, let's call it here.
All right.
Yeah, I think they're about to demo something called I was hearing autopilot. Maybe it's copilot, I don't know, but I'm assuming this is like something that's a little more like autonomous.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Well,
Which
Yeah, because like, I guess if I forgot your birthday, I can ask your AI
yeah.
and then still surprise you on your birthday because I
Mhm.
didn't ask you what your birthday was.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can't be hands-on on everything. Like to have like true utility come of this, you know. But at the same time, too, like you don't want people to take advantage of your personal AI and like expose like details about yourself like without your permission, right?
Yeah.
You'd be like, "Hey, man, it's like how big's your wiener?" You know.
Or,
And, like,
what did you do last weekend?
Yeah, because like you had a conversation personally, not AI, like a real human to
Yeah.
human conversation with somebody on
It's
this
like,
app.
just
like,
Halo. I was like, dude,
Yeah.
you're supposed to come to my thing.
Yeah, but then you like your teacher said you're in a lie situation. Like, no, I had an important business meeting this weekend, that's why I couldn't go to your
Yeah.
thing. And then you ask your AI, it's like, what did you really do this weekend? It's like, yeah, we were playing Halo. You know what I mean? This could get squirrely. You know what I mean? This is a lot of verticals now. It's
Yeah.
like we're all over the place.
There's now new dimensions of lying. So you gotta
Yeah.
lie to your AI too.
Oh no.
Yeah, you're never gonna know what's truth and what isn't.
Yeah.
Right?
That's a
Because
problem.
AI doesn't always. AI does always tell the truth, right?
Oh, it tells what it knows.
Okay, yeah, it's not truth or
It's not truth.
AI doesn't want to lie.
It just
right?
tells what it knows, I guess.
Okay, damn, this is
So man, I can
Interesting.
see like courts using this
yeah.
like for just trying to extract information.
It's like we'd like to call Will's AI to the stand.
No, dude, not our AIs. Yeah, they're definitely gonna tap into that. It's gonna be a new law.
yeah.
Anytime you're like accused of some crime,
It's like
just like they can breach your texts and data and
Yeah.
use that against you in court.
For sure.
They're definitely going to use your own self against you in court if you've done some wrong.
yeah.
Fuck. Well, this is like
It's a double-edged sword.
just like
with
all
everything.
technology. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, and this is what everybody's worried about. It's like AI is so impactful, but it could potentially be so damaging at the same time.
You got to
Yeah.
teach your AI to plead the fifth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you could really get personal with it, yeah, you got to train your AI to like not be a rat. Pretty much. That would be interesting.
All right, so we'll link the link for this video presenting Personal AI Model 1 from Personal.ai in the description below. So we talked about Bitcoin. We talked about predicting the future for crypto and AI and like what is a reasonable application of such technology.
Yeah. And here's like a demonstration of an actual AI company that has been working on an AI like
AI crypto elements.
Yeah.
But the reason why there's crypto elements is because the data that's supplied to Personal AI is yours, not on a server by Amazon.
Yeah. Exactly. It's very it's very niche in that sense,
And niche for now, but it's going to be very important in the future because people will realize the value of this stuff.
Yeah, yeah. We haven't even scratched the surface of like what can really be done with this. This is just ground zero. Like we probably all should at some point just get in here once the product is launched and just I guess you gotta add your friends, I guess, into these little circles.
Yeah, and look, someone's asking Suman's Personal AI, where were you born? And his AI responds, I was born in India in a small village. And then tell me about a vivid memory about your childhood. And then it just automatically responds.
That was pretty quick. He's
Yeah.
like, I remember when I was 2 and I was ran over by a bunch of buffaloes.
My goodness.
There's no way. In India, it was very vivid memory. I was just standing and screaming.
But I didn't move an inch.
Wow. That's fucked up, dude.
That's traumatic.
Yeah.
What did you do at Era?
His other startup company.
Oh. Yeah, dude, she's not very personable, is she? Like, he just, like, divulged, like, a deep memory. And she's like, all right, next question.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like an interview.
Yeah.
But yeah, so a lot of stuff has been discussed. If you guys have any questions on Personal AI, what's going on in like crypto land, let us know in the comment section below. This will be the end of the podcast. Appreciate you guys listening. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at the Blockrunner, at MetaZone.io, and at Roby AI, and we will catch you in the next podcast.
Peace.